Hello, everybody, and welcome to MUSC Red Devils NCR, your favorite place to get all the content related to MUFC. A big welcome back to me, first of all. You must have missed me after a long time. I'm back. I'm back in the hot seat. It feels great. But a lot of talk about me. I have two new guests today as well, apart from me. I have my brother Wali and Paritosh Bhai with me. So a big welcome to the Red Devils family, guys.
Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
making
much.
our debut. Hoping for a good
Yes,
chat.
let's go. I mean, the expectations are high. The Stretfordians is waiting for you in the comment section, and hope you go all guns blazing today. And Sandeep Bhai, the usual magic man with us. So, as we all know, right? So we have a big cup tie with a very big team, Charlton Athletic. It's Carabao Cup quarterfinals. We're getting into the hot areas of cup games now. We're into the last 32 of the FA Cup, the last 8 of Carabao Cup, and we go for cups. We apparently now have a chance of winning a trophy, guys. How does that feel? Wali bhai making your debut, hopefully. What about the trophy, bhai?
Well, first and foremost, hello to everyone. And secondly, I think I'm really glad that the draws are also going in our favor after a very long time. Because usually,
Absolutely.
what's the case? It's either Manchester United versus Manchester City in a round of 16, or is United versus Arsenal in a in a quarter final. So finally, after a very long time, the draws are going in our favor, be it the FA Cup and as well as the Carabao Cup. However, Europa League, we've still got FC Barcelona, so I think they're just compensating for it in the sense. So yeah,
That was
I'm
rigged.
excited
That
for the.
was rigged.
Yeah, we. I think the entire entire fan base knew about that, including Barcelona.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I'm excited about it. The reason why I'm excited is because I'm actually looking forward to all Manchester United games. I'm excited because last season was a complete write-off, and here's an interesting stat:
Mhm.
Manchester United had won 20 games last season.
20 games.
This season they have won 19 games, and we're midway through. So the vibe around the club has been really good. Be it about the Glazers selling off the club, which is something which is music to our ears. Be it our players performing, be it Eric Ten Hag, redeeming himself after that horrible, disastrous start. Everyone was questioning him, saying that the Dutch league was probably easy for him, but this is the Premier League, and now he's schooling almost every team over there. So yeah, I'm excited, and I think we will be starting a few French players over here. I honestly hope that players such as Iran Iqbal, Garnacho should
Yeah.
obviously be starting. Some of these players should definitely be getting. Scott McTominay, he's been on the bench for a while. I think he starts. So we will discuss about the formation, etc., in the later half of the show. But I feel that watching United is now actually a really exciting part of my life right now, and considering the fact that our next two games are going to be against Manchester City and Arsenal, it's better that we enjoy this game. Watch us win because the
Yeah.
next two games are going to be a little unpredictable. So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely agreed with everything there. Sandeep bhai, I'm gonna almost pose the same question to you with the twist that Wali bhai said that he'd be looking forward to seeing players like Zidane Iqbal, the French players, maybe McTominay getting. But my sort of the devil's advocate side of me says, should we take some notes from Newcastle United and their defeat to Sheffield Wednesday? I think it was, wherein they're just flying. They can't seem to, keep a foot on the ground in the Premier League. And suddenly they played not so bad players, but sort of the players they haven't been playing as much. They sort of shuffled the pack thoroughly. And we saw as a result, it was a shock defeat. So should we be wary of it a bit, or is our Baldy at the helm and will handle everything?
So I think to succeed in football, you have to have a bald head. Yeah. So that's one of my takes. Anyway, jokes aside. So I think today's lineup should not be so disjointed that 10 of the 11 players are new on the field. I think Maguire, Lindelof. I think Martinez could get a start because he has not played and he needs to be sharp for the Man City game. So Maguire and Martinez could be a way to go in the defense. I think Malacia and Wan-Bissaka would be in for the game because they have to be rotated and they need game time too. And I think Zidane, Iqbal, Scott McTominay, and Fred make up our midfield today. Maybe with Ericsson coming in the second half and Garnacho, Martial, and Anthony. So it's not a disjointed team like we're playing all the new players, but it does show that we are, we are rotating, and it should be done that way because what you said from Newcastle game, what we can see, I think they played a whole different. They reshuffled the packs completely. There should be some like coherence in the team, cohesion in the team. Sorry, cohesion in the team. So, and one more thing is that we have Rashford, we have Casemiro, we have. I think Bruno is suspended today. We have Rashford, Casemiro on the bench, and we have Varane, and we have like
Is
players who
Sancho
can
still
come off the
unavailable?
bench. Who?
Is Sancho still unavailable?
Sancho has been training since Saturday, but I don't think Ten Hag would risk him for this
Not
game.
match
I
fit.
think,
Not match fit. The Ten Hag has said
yeah,
he's
so
not match fit right
he's not match fit. I think he comebacks against Palace, which is
now.
a midweek game after City. So that way we can have players off the bench, and it's Charlton. It's a League One mid-table team. If Scott McTominay and co don't give us a result, then the reserves really need to be looked at. So I think we should be fine with the rotation and with the, let's not say reshuffling, but the rotation of the squad.
Right. So slight changes, basically appreciated, and wholesale changes should be sort of avoided. Absolutely. Sancho will not be part of the squad. Yeah. I mean, Eric Ten Hag has been suspiciously sort of acting naive over Sancho. Acting as if he's a player that we are linked with, and he's probably still at Dortmund, and he's sort of keeping his mouth shut on him. And that is sort of something I like. It
That
sort of
that is
stirs an
that is
excitement
the
into
that
me.
is the Glazers rubbing on of Ten Hag in the way that he will be a new signing.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Glazers could be on to something there, but we see those Instagram posts saying you ain't ready, and Sancho having this full 16 packs and
यार
running
एक ही
with
बात मत कर यार.
the most way body and all of that. But coming back onto it, to Paritosh bhai, um, Bruno is suspended. Unfortunately, the biggest misfortuner history has ever seen. Mr. Donny van de Beek is injured, so we suddenly have a big gaping hole there. Maybe Ericsson could fit in, but then we go back onto the sort of the mid area. So is this the return of McFred, or like how do you see us lining up between the field as well as in the striking and defensive options?
I'll go back to Wali's statement that this is a chance for the players who will not be a part of the first team squad to really step up and prove that they belong to a club like Manchester United, because right now we have the players who need some spaces to fill. Like Bruno is suspended, Donny van de Beek is injured, so we have a creative midfielder lacking in our squad. We don't want to burn out Christian Eriksen because he's already playing too much football right now for Manchester United. He was not brought in to play 90 minutes week in week out. He was brought in as a creative player who'll just fit in here and there, and now he has become a mainstay at the team. So I don't think putting too much pressure on Eriksen is also justified. Uh, The fact that United still needs midfielders is appalling to some extent, because we always seem to find midfielders to sign which we don't really need. When we need midfielders that is in the defensive area, we finally got one in the form of Casemiro, but we have been needing a defensive midfielder for I don't know how long right now. So there are midfielders available. It's shocking that a creative midfielder is still required, and although there are players who can play, I'd still like uh, our sc- uh, our homegrown players, are the players who will not feature as much in the first team to really shine and take this chance and do well for the team.
Right. So again, it's a golden opportunity. It's a quarterfinal nonetheless. So anyone who comes onto the pitch and actually steps up would actually play a big, massive role in potentially landing us the mighty trophy. Like after God knows how long. Thank God for Ericsson. Midfield would have felt incomplete. I mean, what a signing! Like zero, zero. Was it zero? I
Yeah.
mean, it was zero. I guess that's how much we signed him for.
For free,
Right.
yes.
Exactly. He was for free. Right. As I see the comment there, sort of suggesting, could Butland maybe have a sniff here and there? Could we see Butland maybe
It's
making his debut,
it's
like probably
confirmed.
the third goalkeeper, including
As
preseason? I
Is
guess
it?
he'll be the sixth goalkeeper featuring for us this season.
Yeah,
So,
he could be. He could
what
be.
do you
Yeah,
think?
Butland does get a shout out here because De Gea is not needed, as let's say, for this game, and I think this is the only game Butland could feature in. Like I don't see anywhere Butland coming into the team, so I
We
think he
better
gets a
win
shout
this
out for
game.
this.
If Butland needs to play more games for United.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
I
the squad is confirmed, I think. That was the confirmed squad. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Butland is there, Martinez is there, Delo is there, Lindelof is there. So Malacia is also there, Maguire is there, Fred and Pellistri. Facundo Pellistri is
Ballistic.
going to be there.
Mm.
So this is one player that I was suggesting.
Is this
Just
one, two,
squad
three, four,
members.
five, six, seven,
This is
eight,
not a
nine,
lineup.
ten?
It's a squad. It's a squad. It's not a lineup.
Yeah, yeah,
But I
not
can
the
see
lineup
only
squad.
10, 10,
It's
10
incomplete.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So more players to be added on, I think.
Maybe, yeah, yeah. But it's good to see.
Anthony and
But it's good
Pellistri.
to see the likes of Pellistri and Butland
I
being
think
at
Kobe
least in
Menu
contention.
deserves a shout out in this today's game. Kobe Menu and Zidane Iqbal. I think they
Yeah, yeah.
deserve a. I think they
Absolutely.
have shown enough. I think they have shown enough. And after Eric Ten Hag taking charge of the youth team, I think maybe because you see there is a lot of United leak like a save. So we have heard this many times, and there have been many posts from Kobe Menu on Twitter today and from United's account that he might feature. So I don't know. I was just checking Twitter and I saw Kobe Menu posts, so I don't know.
Absolutely. I mean, again, it would be such a bright prospect for such a bright young kid like Kobe Maino. David Gea should start because Fuda, we cannot keep keeper away from the ball, says Rudravai. Like, what do you think then? What do you think, panel? What does the panel think about this? I mean, interesting point or nah?
No, I think David De Gea has played a lot of games. I think who Dubravka was the he just played one game throughout the season so far, and
Loan
we
spell.
it wasn't a good
Yeah.
one. It wasn't a good one, of course. But irrespective of that, of course, you need to give David De Gea a break as well. You need some other goalkeepers to step in, and you know
Right.
what annoys me the one thing that annoys me is that we had Sergio Romero not so long
Yeah.
ago, and he was the perfect backup for David De Gea. We did not like. I
Absolutely.
know there might be a lot of Dean Henderson fans, but he was he was Argentina's number one. He featured in a
Yeah.
World Cup final. We won the Europa League with Sergio Romero in that goal. I think we just conceded a few goals in that Europa League campaign. He had a really good clean sheet record, and he was experienced enough.
Yeah.
So it's just sad to see that he left. Unfortunately, if he was here, I think I would have been completely
The
confident. I
best thing
think
was he was so happy being a United player despite being
mm,
a number two. Like
right,
he had nothing but positivity to spread, positive posts and everything, just grateful for whatever he got. But
I
for
think
all the man management applause that all he
mm,
gets, I mean
yeah,
he just fucked this one very bad. He
you
just
have
What
to
about
say,
Ander Herrera? Same thing.
oh man. Man,
mm,
that was Glazers inside out. Glazers inside out, Glazers letting us
That
go
was
for
the because
players.
of the wages. That was because of the wages.
Absolutely.
He was
Yeah,
demanding a
the guy
I
the
mean,
guy
you're
cried on
renewing
the
Phil
podcast.
Jones' contract. You're renewing Phil Jones' contract, and you
he's
are
still here.
letting Ander Herrera go on a free.
he was exactly the
Absolutely.
player we needed right now. He
Absolutely.
Yeah.
was exactly the player you need, the creative midfielder, the one cohesive bond you need between the defense and the attack. He was exactly
Absolutely.
that player, and ever since he has left, because he was the kind of player that Michael Carrick was at some point. He was the kind of
Yeah.
player that Paul Scholes was in the latter years of his career, where he was not so much the attacking player,
Attacking,
but more of a
Defensively.
cohesive player. So these are
conductor.
the players
I
you
think
need.
I
Yeah,
think I
exactly,
think I,
conductor.
I I I think he had shades of sort of if I go away from midfield, he had some South American shades and the South American version of Vidic, in terms of how he went into tackles, how he ran around so much. And then he had shades of Scholes and Carrick pinging the ball around here and there. I mean, not so much on the creative side, but still creative enough and then dynamic enough in terms of the workload he used to shuffle around. Absolutely. I
Much
mean,
better than
he
McFred. Much better than
much
McFred.
better than McFred any day. Ander Herrera on one side and McFred on the other. I guess he's at Bilbao, I guess, right? Like his
Yeah,
I think
I
he
think
came
so.
from
It
Yeah,
Bilbao.
right.
was,
He was at Paris, and then when
No,
he
no,
went.
Paris. He left Paris. He left Paris last
yeah,
season, I think.
Bilbao.
After last season.
Right, right. So
We
coming
signed him
back
from
on to
Bilbao, if I'm not wrong.
sorry.
We signed him from Bilbao itself, no?
Yeah, we did,
yeah,
we did, and then he has returned back to Bilbao now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So, coming back onto the game now, I think just a second. Yeah. So, I just read this. I don't remember the guy's name. The Charlton manager. He said like it's in my blood. United's in my blood, and if it's not us, well, bold of him to assume it's Charlton. But if it's not us, it has to be them. And he went in with Ten Hag with a big thumbs up, telling us guys, keep focused, keep your head out of the sand, keep your feet on the ground, but believe in the guy. And that for me is a big positive. People around the footballing world, people who actually support us lower down the English ranks, I mean, coming out and in support of the opposing manager, it just seemed very sort of ecstatic for him to be facing United in the first place, and it's just a sweet moment.
yeah, definitely.
Anyone?
Well, of course, yeah. Yeah, if this reminds me of, I think it was under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign. It was a Europa League fixture. I don't know who we beat. So one of the players had said it was in the quarterfinal to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that you're doing a good job and may you continue. So it's a similar fan moment for the Charlton manager. He wants United to do well. We had, if you remember, there have been plenty of fan moments whenever United have faced certain teams. I think it was last season. There was one of those goalkeepers from Nigeria, if I'm not wrong, who had a stellar game, made 12 to 13 saves. If you remember, I
I
forgot
That
his
was
remember
name.
this
in the
season. That
Europa
was this
Yeah, that was
season.
this
Omonia.
season, right?
Omonia.
Yeah, yeah,
Omonia,
yes,
Omonia.
Omonia. So Scott McTominay scored that winner at the 93rd minute, and he was a United fan. So yeah, yeah, it's good to see that there are plenty of fans out there just like us, who are actually playing and who would actually love to represent United one day, be it through management or playing. But yeah, we should not take them lightly, regardless of that, because it is a knockout. And if you are making change, although I am confident, but if you are making changes, then some of the dynamism, some of the synergy might be missing on certain occasions. However, I'm confident. I think we will be able to get the win. And it's going to be a good game nonetheless. So I have a question for like each one of you, if it's fine, Antriksh. So like we were speaking about the Glazers and Ander Herrera. So usi ke baare mein, what I had in mind was what I wanted to ask you was that recently there's this news out that Eric Ten Hag and John Murtaugh, sorry, not John Murtaugh, Richard Arnold are now focusing that the wage bill has to be 200K and it shouldn't exceed that. Now, there has been a mixed reaction regarding that. Some are saying that the top players, such as, we got Casemiro, who's now on a high wage bill. He's earning 350 or 375, if I'm not wrong.
Hmm.
So would this actually backfire Ten Hag? Is this? Do you think there is some accuracy in this? Is this going to happen? Or if it does happen, what's your stance on this?
For me, I think football market from I have been watching football for like 14, 15 odd years now. And for me, I think the football market has inflated tremendously. Like it's a joke, the salaries that the players are on. Although there is this argument that there is value added as well. You bring so much value, that's why you get the big numbers in your salaries. But I think there should be a limit to the salaries. I also believe that the kind of money Leo Messi was given by Barcelona, uh, that was one of the reasons that they were on the verge of bankruptcy.
They still
So
are.
they still are, and they are still recovering from the mindless spending that they did. They thought that they could spend the Neymar money uh, just helter skelter, and they ended up spending more than that. And the whole wage bill really fucked them over. So right now, what I believe is that there needs to be some kind of restrictions. There needs to be some kind of modulation because uh, look back like 14 odd years when the Ronaldo transfer happened. 83 million was a tremendous number. 83 million meant you get Cristiano Ronaldo. 83 million right now doesn't even get you Maguire properly. So although we overpaid for Maguire, but 83 million right now is not fetching you what João Felix. João Felix will
Anthony.
get
Anthony was
100
Anthony.
85.
million for Anthony.
Anthony is probably more than that. Although the value is different, the value of that particular amount is different from 2008, but still, it's shocking. 100 is like nothing. Grealish for 100 million. You can't be serious about that. So there needs to be some kind of regulation because the market has inflated too much. And I think for the salaries, the restrictions should be there because that creates a kind of disharmony in the players. I think the players who get paid extremely more, they're I don't know what happens in the dressing room or what happens in the training ground, but I am guessing what Ten Hag believes and what the United board believe is that the players who get too much money, they tend to walk around with a little bit of swagger. They tend to have a thought process that they command a lot more over the team. So I think that needs to go away. If that happens to be in the form of a salary cut down or restrictions in the amount of salaries given out to the players, so then that'd be so because football is a team game, not an individual game. Although individuals can win you matches, but trophies are won by the teams. So I do believe there's some truth to it. How much the restrictions need to be made, that is a question that needs to be answered.
Absolutely. I would agree with Paritosh bhai there. Putting my say on it, comparing the olden times with the new ones, I think a lot more dimensions have been added to as to what constitutes the price of a player. Like earlier, I think it was like again, it's just a plain and simple, not to be taken at face value, but it was like XYZ player, ye itne ka hai because he plays this well. Right now, it's about their left, right, and center image rights, left, right, and
Social
center.
media.
The brand they are, plus the contract they hold, plus like when we talk about someone like Grealish is not 100 million, but to a club like Aston Villa, he means 100 million to them. Like Grealish as a player with his qualities, if you lay it down on a piece of paper, is not 100 million worthy.
It's a
Maybe
seller's market.
according to the market, exactly, maybe he would be 60 million, 70 million, but to Aston Villa, even when they spend 70 million, they won't get a Grealish back. So now to them, it's 100 million. And it's the team which wants the player who is sort of held ransom by the price which the selling team puts out. Because according to them, their value of Jack Grealish is 100. And another factor which is added nowadays is the timing factor. Anthony would go down as one of the most expensive signings United have made, at least for the next 10 years. The way things are going, 1 billion bhi koi player ho jayega, but at least for the next 10 years, he'll be up there in the top 5, 10. Top 10. Anthony, whether anyone believes it or not, 6 years down the lane, could have been bought for 55, 60 million. Max 65, 70 million. Max. Not a penny more. We fucked up. Lisandro Martinez 55. He's turning out the way he is. God forbid, touchwood kar leta hu main. He is 5'9". He would have had a couple shitty games. We paid 50 odd million, I guess, for him. We have fucking overpaid for him. We have fucking overpaid for him. Touchwood फिर कर लेता हूँ. Casemiro उम्र में आ रहा है. एक दो games ऊपर नीचे हो जाती. We have fucking overpaid for him. We can't, we as fans can't go, oh, he's justifying every penny. No, he's not. He gets an injury, he's out. He's out probably for the rest of his career, like the age Casemiro is at. So like 70 million for the guy with 375, who says, again, not in a bad way, but he says, I've won enough Champions Leagues now, time to focus on the Europa League. Who has set in his mind कि मैं बहुत बड़ा downgrade ले रहा हूँ. वो तो Casemiro is a god that, he has the attitude he has, the way he plays. Otherwise, it's a big, 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 big mistake by our board, purely in financial terms. So, when, in his departing statement, Ed Woodward said, well, in my time in charge, we spent over $1 billion. Well, you spent $1 billion because you spent them like we did at Anthony. Obviously he wasn't there, but the way we spent it on Paul Pogba, 108. I mean, yes, he was one of the best midfielders there, but 108 in that market before the Neymar 2-2 scandal. I mean, I don't really think so. The way we just threw money left, right, and center, and now actually
I
coming on to your point of is it sort of fair? I think it's absolutely fair. I think with big players, you give them a base salary of 200. You put your incentives at a very low level, which is easily achievable. You sort of get, for an appearance, maybe you get 50 quid. By quid I mean 200 becomes 250. Maybe with the goal for a striker it becomes 300, like if the striker is of that prestige. So I really think, and again it comes from a very non Amir point of view, but what my thinking of action is कि एक point के बाद, I'm not saying that players don't chase money, some players are always there, but I saw Ederson, who was performing probably at the biggest club in the world at that time, Man City, in terms of their functionality and the way they're winning trophies, just in those terms, before the chat eats me up. um, um, so he was earning 75K before his recent contract extension. 75K. David De Gea, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it or anything. He was earning 375 at the same time. Dean Henderson, who didn't even play, I guess, at that point of time, a game in the season, was earning 100K. Tom Heaton was earning 40K-ish, 30, 40, I might be wrong here. And Lee Grant, by sub, was earning 10K. And we had Ederson, Brazil's number one, number two, flipping over here and there. 4 Premier Leagues, 1,200 Carabao Cups, 84 clean sheets, and sitting there on 75K. Kevin De Bruyne recently got more wage than David De Gea. After being Kevin De Bruyne for 6 years, he finally has surpassed the wage of David De Gea. So, you need money when you don't have success to show on the pitch. Alexis Sanchez got 350K, and that guy was saying, मेरे को पहले दिन आके खुजली हो रहा था कि ये क्या हो रहा है इस training ground पे. He has the balls to say that after he was getting paid the way he was. Ronaldo got paid the way he was. He got made captain in his second last appearance and says, I was disrespected. So when you don't have success to show on the pitch, it is money that has to rule over, we say this pull. Believe it or not, as sad as it sounds, United ka pull has just gone like this for the past 10 years. And money is what is keeping us relevant until and unless we start winning trophies again.
That's
where I feel I back the decision. I back the decision. And I think with big players coming in, the incentive should be itna low ki they're sort of mediocrely achievable.
So one thing I would like to point out here, just one point. The main thing here is, look at the timing of that article when it came out, that we were going to, keep a capping of 200,000 euros or pounds, whatever it was. Glazers are a spinning machine. Okay, they can spin any news anyway, and they prepared us for a kind of a thing that Joao Felix was not coming to us. We would not pay that amount of loan fee plus the salary which Joao Felix was demanding. So that is a spin from the Glazers. I don't believe that if we have to be successful, we need to have money. Newcastle are successful nowadays. Man City have been successful. That model is there. Paris is successful. That model is there because of the money part of it. Now, if we suppose it's just a hypothetical, if we are to bring Mbappe, we cannot have the 200,000 capping. He has to be given 350, 400,000 kind of a thing. It cannot be that if we have players like Casemiro, like Mbappe, or maybe like I don't know, like Joao Felix or anyone, they will not be happy with the 200K. Yes, the thing is that the players who are not established world class and elites, like Antony, like Martial, like Rashford, like Bruno Fernandes, they are brilliant players. Don't get me wrong, they are brilliant players, but they do not deserve a wage of 200,000 plus. I think Fred is on about 150 to 175 kind of a thing. He doesn't deserve it. Brandon Williams is at $50,000, 50,000 euros or pounds. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Our wage bill is so.
What about
You know
Phil
what's the
Jones?
what? Huh?
What about Phil Jones? What's his wage? I've got.
भाई उसका तो आउटपुट ही नेगेटिव है उसका तो छोड़ ही दो वो 1 रुपए भी कमाएगा तो दैट इज लाइक लानत है उस पे anyway what I was saying is like the Glazers who are world known for not spending they are bullshit spenders they
Hmm.
spend 80 million on Harry Maguire giving him a 250,000 or 200,000 kind of a wage for 7 years. FIFA doesn't have the option of giving a player 7 years contract. It's maximum up to 5. And here we have Mr. Ed Woodward, Sir Ed Woodward, who is giving him a 7 year, 8 year contract. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Glazers, they have put like let's not call them puppets, just bad people who are bad at footballing side of things. He Ed Woodward may be a brilliant CEO. He might be brilliant in business deals and everything, but they should have kept the business and commercial side separate and the football side separate. Harry Maguire, 80 million doesn't. It's not Harry Maguire's fault, by the way. It's Leicester. It's not even Leicester's fault. It's Manchester United negotiators' fault. And Manchester United, in the current transfer market, are known as a joke. Even these agents have talked about this in their interviews and everything. That no one considers the Man United transfer team who are willing to negotiate or who are going to negotiate they don't consider them seriously. You imagine John Murtaugh was fucked over by Adrian Rabiot's mom. You just get this. He could not
Hmm.
even land Rabiot after going to Juve.
But we
I
have to
mean,
thank
we
Rabiot's mom.
we thank Rabiot's mom for giving us Casim. I mean, not in that way. Uh, we thank Rabiot's mom for letting his son stay at Juve and whatever, and us getting Casemiro. But Glazers should really look at them. They see. I'm the furthest thing from a Glazer supporter. But if they employed proper people, maybe we would not be having such a big problem at this club. Because if there was a good director of football, if there was separation of the commercial side and the footballing side, we would have been a club in a much better position. See, I don't agree with Antariksh in one thing that we don't have the pull anymore. We do. We do. People are there, like players are there who know what a heritage is. I always, the Robinho, statement comes back to my mind that when I was signing for Manchester City in 2008, I thought I was signing for Manchester United. I didn't know there was another club in Manchester. So we have that pull because of legends like Sir Alex Ferguson, Ronaldo, Rooney, Van Persie in the later years. We still have that pull, but now we have to, like concede that without big money, there is no future of football because that is the way football is going. And that 200,000 capping was not. It was a spin. It was a spin by the Glazers that we are not getting John Phillips. As like it was my point of view. Mojo sir says thank her for being greedy.
One,
I know. We thank
one, one,
uh,
one
Rabiot's
final
mom.
thing I would like to say to this is like Ten Hag's recent statement is that what he made was that like in the past we've made some bang average signings. I can't exactly quote him, and we've overpaid. So that's something which I really like about him, and he's been really good in his press conferences, and that is why the fans have been actually behind him throughout like the season. So I'm really glad that he's our manager, and I have actually been supporting him. I actually was behind him to be the United manager since his Ajax's dream run in the Champions League. I thought that he was a proper man because he knew how to coach. He knows how to treat the academy. And I just did not know that United had the caliber to pull off a Ten Hag, but they eventually did. And I think a little bit of credit has to be given, unfortunately, to them. So I'm just happy that he's our manager.
The only credit they get in the past 5 years is getting Ten Hag because no Manchester United fan expected them to actually go for a footballing decision. We would rather have them a commercial decision and get a manager with the bling and the status at least
Yeah.
attached. But they finally
Mm.
did a great job in getting Ten Hag because he's showing the results. And also coming back to United and how things are run at United. The 200K capping, I don't think that's a big topic. The bigger topic right now is the fact that he is also in charge of the reserve team now, and that is something that should be noted. He's in charge of the academy. He's also the coach of the academy right now. So that is what we wanted. We want our homegrown players to feature in the first team and eventually make that jump. And that is how teams are built. We talk about the money Manchester City spent, but we don't talk about the kind of infrastructure that they have built over the years. If you look at the success and you think, oh, they are spending 50, 60 odd million on these players every transfer window. They get two, three
That's
players
actually
for
a
50,
very good
60 odd
point.
million. They spend this much money and this and that, but you don't realize how great the management behind the team is. They are spending the money on the right players. Julian Alvarez, nobody had heard of him previously. This World Cup, he showed how much he is worth. They got
Ragnick
him for
bhai.
pennies. They
Ra-
got him for pennies. They got him for pennies. Ragnick, yeah, man. And it's just the you have to appreciate the good things that a club does. We don't like Man City obviously because we are Manchester United fans, but look at the way that they have built this club uh, out of nothing. Yes, money is involved. Obviously, money is involved. It's a commercial game right now. You have to have money to succeed. No club without money uh, is going to succeed in football right now, but you have to spend the amount rightly. You have to spend the amount in a way which benefits in totality. United have spent the money, but they have spent the money in the wrong places. They have spent the money on the wrong individuals. Manchester City, on the other hand, they have a proper game plan. They have a proper team who decides whether the kind of player that they are going for is the player required for the team, and that is how they make their signings. Newcastle United, they change their fortunes in a year. Although they spent the money, they spent like 150, 180 odd million in the January window, but they got the right players. They didn't go for a Paul Pogba, they didn't go for an Anthony, or they didn't go for a Harry Maguire or whatever. They didn't go for the flashy signings. They went for the signings that were required. They went for Bruno Jimenez, who was an absolutely brilliant signing from Newcastle. They went for the kind of management roles that they were required. So there need to be changes. I think one of the most uh, glaring changes that United require is in the training facility, the kind of training facility that hasn't changed for a very long time. The medical team, because we have had a major issue of players not getting fit, not performing well and up to the mark, and then they go to another club and they are firing. A big example of that is Romelu Lukaku not firing for us. And when he went to Inter Milan, he was diagnosed with an underlying problem in his stomach that was not diagnosed at United, and that is a very big issue. If we consider our club one of the top five clubs in the world, our medical facilities should be top notch. We shouldn't be having these problems. Our players getting injured again and again, not getting fit and back to their 100%. This is a big issue, and this is where a personality like Eric Ten Hag comes in, and he is the one who will helm these changes. And I think these are the points that need to be noted. There needs to be changes that are not showy, that are not flashy, but are changing the structure behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Just before I sort of mention my point, Mojo sir says one question: could Pep take over as manager of City when they didn't have the wealthy owners and make them a
Can I
talent?
answer that?
Yeah, for sure, bhai, Sandeep
Yeah.
bhai.
So, Mojo sir, I think Pep Guardiola is he's like the fair weather friend we have. He will only come when there is fair weather. Uh, Pep is an amazing tactician, he's an amazing manager. But even at Barcelona, he had the players who were just simply world class. He inherited that, if I'm not wrong. He made some brilliant signings also, but Pep needs some kind. Pep needed Messi to succeed at Barcelona, and he has the money right now to succeed at City. I don't think Pep would have been like he might have won two. He would have been like Jurgen Klopp. He would have had one title or one Champions League in maybe 6 7 years, but he would not have been as successful as he is of with City. if we did not have the well. I mean, they have 250 million in center backs. I mean, the last day, the Chelsea versus City game, when they were 3-0 up, they had around 300 million of transfers waiting in the subs. That's just appalling. So I don't think he would have been as successful, but taking nothing away from him, he's one of the best managers and coaches we have ever seen.
I exactly. I sort of like the way Sandeep bhai put it here, because a lot of United fans, I don't know, sort of just dismiss the fact that he has ruined the Premier League. Like for whatever one reason or the other, he has he has made Premier League into everything we were taunting the other leagues for. रनअवे लोग हैं, पीएसजी ले जाती है, दो हॉर्स का रेस है, यहाँ से ये बायर्न म्यूनिख ले जाता है. He has made that. If not for Jurgen Klopp's absolute pinpoint management, we would have had a league for the last 6 years that would have been 95, 73, 96, 81, 99, 80, 100, 90. Like we would have had that.
181 था वो जोसे मोरिन्यो का सीजन में 181.
Exactly. So like if not that. So I like the fact that Sandeep bhai hasn't sort of completely, the fact that I guess he was the first, Man City became the first team to win the English treble. Like Arsenal women's team had done it, but in men's football, I think they became the first team
Yeah.
to do it. So I mean, like you just can't take anything away. and again, like we enjoy the banter. We love the fact that they were sort of eliminated by a Benzema masterclass. But to be honest, guys, मतलब I absolutely agree. उसने रॉड्री के साथ बहुत fuck up किया in the Chelsea वाला game. But in these Benzema moments, I don't really think it's really a Pep problem. It just happened and they didn't win. And I'm not saying that you need to give him credit for that, but all I'm saying is the fair statement according to me is that he wouldn't have been as successful, but he would have sure as hell been decently successful. Maybe like a Klopp,
I
maybe a touch more than him here and there.
I think it's two sides of the same coin. The thing that makes him successful is the thing that makes him lag in the Champions League. Why do Real Madrid win the Champions League so easily, and why do they look like a different beast in the Champions League? If you look at the interviews that come out uh, by the players or the people associated with Real Madrid, वहाँ पे people say कि Champions League के time पे माहौल ही अलग होता है. There is a saying कि you have to win the Champions League at Real Madrid. You have to perform at another level, and that kind of pressure is not there in Man City. Also, the fact that why do United pull off these amazing late goals in the European nights? Even when we are down and out, we are not playing well, we are not showing even a fickle of our potential, or the fickle of our past. How did this happen when we were able to score 90th minute winners? Is the fact that we believe that we are going to do it because we have done it in the past. Man City have not done it in the past. They have to build it, and that is one of the factors why Man City are not successful in the Champions League, and part of the fact that they are not able to get the better of the other teams in these big moments, because they are not used to it. They are used to now winning the Premier League, and that's why they are doing well there. But knockout games, European games are a different question altogether, and they are not able to find the answer. PSG are not able to find the answer. They have all the money in the world. They have spent well. They have finally also made some great managerial changes. They have now a man who is looking for the footballing side of things, who wants them to play good football. Now, I think things will change because they have the pedigree. They have Mbappe, who is a big game player. But will they finally break it? That is a question. That's a big, big question.
I think
So
Mbappe
I
is
do,
moving this season.
yeah, I also believe that he should, because his pedigree, although he has got the money, he's got all the money in the world. I think if they don't win this year, I think he'll move. But let's see
Right.
what happens.
So
Now, should we come back to the game? Because we
yeah,
have talked a
exactly.
lot
That,
about.
that that is what I was gonna say. Where like emotions on one side, but thoda sa let's sort of come back. So Mbappe say let's jump onto the Manchester Mbappe, who is our own Mr. Rashi. and he's staring it down on the left wing as if like Mbappe did in the final. Like it's almost that he has got this Mbappe soul, and he thinks every game's a World Cup final now, and that too from minute 71 to minute 95. He's in that sort of hot hot form in एम्बापे यूनाइटेड अभिजीत भाई अभी रुको यार 200 के का कैप लगा दिए हम वो वो उसे मुड़ गया है वो मुड़ गया है लाइक एड्रियन रैबियो मम्मी को कॉल लगा दिया है लाइक नॉट कमिंग हियर एनीमोर बट no jokes aside Rashi I mean he is on some different form like exactly like this is how he's been the whole this season I mean like he's invented some new sort of celebration which is sort of taking over the internet in some ways like um Ronaldo light wala scene. But anyways, in I sort of read the stat somewhere. I guess he has 14 or 15 goals in the last 14-15 appearances in the Carabao Cup, and then he's also tied with our great Wayne Rooney for consecutive goals at Old Trafford. I mean, Charlton, what better team? You get 30 minutes, एक set से 90 minute, एक goal मारो, get the record sealed and done, get us into the semi-finals. How positive do you feel, Wali bhai? Rashford could make an impact, or would he not be needed?
I think I honestly don't feel that Eric Ten Hag will be starting him. I think that he might come off the bench for a cameo, but yeah, you have to give credit to him. Like previously, I have been a critique of Marcus Rashford because especially from last season, because but last season almost everyone was not performing. So yeah, but if you talk about Marcus Rashford, we was in a way he was turning out to be a one-dimensional player in the sense that if he goes into the box, then that he's going to cut to the right and he's going to take the shot rather than passing. He plays with his head down. Most that has been the case. But if you look at him this season, it's been a completely different Marcus Rashford, and I think the credit has to be given to Eric Ten Hag and Benny McCarthy, if I'm not wrong, with the way that he has transformed our attackers. And I think Marcus Rashford has been his brightest student so far.
Even with Martial also.
Even with Martial also, yes, I'm a big Anthony Martial fan, and but let's stick to Marcus Rashford over here. The thing that I wanted to say about him was that if you look at his goal against Wolves, the way that he on minute 75, I think Harry Ten Hag and Casemiro were having this chat in which he had said, "I want my attackers to be more direct," as per the sources that were coming out on Twitter. So they have to be more direct. Go and challenge the left back. Go and challenge the centre backs, and that is exactly what he did. He went for that run, and the way that he used his body and he bundled that player. I forgot who that defender was. I haven't seen Rashford do that in the past. Then another thing, another goal, which
that's confidence.
That's confidence. Another goal which actually signifies his improvement was in the World Cup. If you remember, it was against Iran. Although it was meaningless, they were leading by 5-0. Marcus Rashford had scored that goal with composure with his left foot. Now that is something which we do not associate with Marcus Rashford because he usually goes for the knuckleball. That is, and his free kicks have also improved massively. So the way that he's actually taking on his defenders, we had seen that. I think it was under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's interim period. We are getting to see a much better version of that. And you have to give credit to Eric Ten Hag and Perry McCarthy for actually, raising his confidence with the way that he has managed him. The good thing is Marcus Rashford accepted that he made that mistake by oversleeping apparently, and in spite of that, he came off the bench and he went on to score and still had a good relationship with the manager. So that says a lot because in the past, I think if Mourinho would have done that, then we all know it could have gone south for either Mourinho or for Rashford. So yes, he's been absolutely phenomenal. And I think at the same time, you will have to.
Eric Ten Hag is good vibes with good training.
Yeah.
Unlike Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I would like to say that as well. So yeah, he's been coaching him really well, and yeah, man, he's been our star boy. I just hope that he continues his run of form because he's been terrific so far.
Long may the king reign. That's the kind of blessing that United fans are having for Marcus Rashford. And I have been a big Marcus Rashford fan. Wally knows. I have been a big supporter of his, even when he was not firing on all cylinders. Because I do believe he has all the qualities to be a top player. Um, and right now he's showing just the kind of player that he is. He has pace, he has explosiveness, he has quickness in the box, he has quick feet, and that is all you can ask for from a player. Erik Ten Hag needs this kind of player, and if just if Anthony Martial also fires and becomes consistent, that is the perfect kind of pairing you can have. Because Anthony Martial has the quality to just be cheeky in the box, just to perform the skills required required to match with Marcus Rashford's explosiveness. These are some stats here: 24 appearances, 13 goals, 6 assists. In cup competitions, he has 7 appearances and 6 goals, along with 3 assists. Manchester United Premier League squad rank, and these are all the stats that prove that he is just rocketed through his form in this particular season. We hope that this continues. Uh, the thing about Marcus Rashford is that he's not arrogant, he's not that flashy, but his game is more about power. He's more about explosiveness. He's more about running in behind the defensive line, and that is the kind of play you want from a player when there are other players also who might not have that similar stat. I think there are only two players who can run behind the defenders in the whole world, in the footballing world. That is Mbappe and Marcus Rashford. I don't believe there is any other player better at running in behind the defensive line than
Mhm.
these two. So yeah, Marcus Rashford is crucial for us. Him not getting injured, him finally getting back to his full fitness, because he was injured. Then he had these surgeries. He was injured for a long time. He overplayed under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He was not able to fire well after coming back from surgeries. He's finally getting back to full fitness. I think he's at full fitness, and we hope that this continues, because we don't want to lose him in the final stages of the season. He's playing really, really well, but he also needs to be protected and used in a smart sense. And I think Erin Ten Hag is more than well versed, better than me and any other Manchester United fan in doing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right.
Weghorst deal, guys. Weghorst.
Yeah.
Just in, Manchester United have reached full verbal agreement to sign Wout Weghorst. The deal will cost around 3 million euros to Besiktas. He will join on loan from Burnley. Besiktas will only approve the deal if they find the right replacement. That is coming in from Fabrizio Romano. So, from Cristiano Ronaldo to Wout Weghorst, I'm excited. Who else is?
I mean,
No,
I'm
so actually, if I had any other manager at the helm, I would not be excited.
Uh,
But I have Eric Ten Hag at the helm, and I know he knows his targets. It may have been the seventh option, but he knows his targets
I
all
mean,
1 through 10.
even seeing, to be honest, like obviously we're United, and I'm not saying like he's a perfect fit, but he just makes sense to me. Wout Weghorst, I think is like he, some people are getting it in a way that he wasn't good enough for Burnley. No, he did not want to play in the championship.
That
He
Burnley team
scored
under
goals
Sean
there.
Dyche was not good enough to create chances and anything. So I
Exactly.
think Wout Weghorst, as a target man, as a finisher, he's an immense presser of the ball from the front. I mean,
Yeah,
there was this one
yeah.
stat, there were 57 presses from him in one of the Burnley games, which has been, and it
Sandeep
was
bhai,
the
and he
end of
did
the,
that at Burnley. He did that at
he
Burnley.
did it in Burnley, exactly. And it was at the end of the season, and they said that no other player in the Premier League season had so many presses in the like team in the Premier League. So that is a
Absolutely.
really Ten Hag way what he wants, and I mean I am not that much worried about Wout Weghorst because he has to be coming in. He has to just you know like for the final 20-30 minutes when we are not getting a goal, let Shaw, let Dalot, let Ericsson, let Bruno, let anyone put crosses into the box and let's just get that headed goal. I think he's a brilliant header of the ball. He's a character. As Abhijit Bhai says, he's a serious character, and he has some, you know, he's a very emotional and a very passionate guy, as we have seen in him,
he rattled
him in,
Messi.
huh?
He rattled Messi. Let's not forget.
Yeah, yeah,
The
absolutely.
last two
Like
minutes of the semi-final. Yeah, let's not forget that. And
he showed
also like
character. He showed character.
and like, see, it's just it may be a fanboy in me talking, but the fact that it had come out that he would be ready to pay from his own pocket to join Manchester United, and he would, give any money to Besiktas. I mean, that just shows that he has it doesn't count fact physically anywhere, but it just shows that he's happy to be at the club and playing for us. I mean, Igalo even was that kind of a character, but I think Wout would be not that bad of a signing as people are making it out to
Exactly.
be, and it's a
It's a six
stopgap.
month
It's a
deal. I
stopgap.
think it's
Exactly. It's
yeah.
just a 6 month deal. It's just a 6 month loan. It's not that we will be having him for the next 4 years as our main target
I
striker.
actually, you know what, Sandeep, I actually see him at least signing a 2-year contract after. I just have this feeling, Sebastian
Yeah, if
Aller
he
coming
comes
in,
and scores 10 goals, it will be a good option
Rashford
to have
pushing in.
on the bench.
I don't see, like, I don't see why not. Apparently our pockets are tight. We're getting Wout Weghorst for some reason. If it was just a 6-month loan deal, do you want Felix or Weghorst? As shit as that sounds, I would have gone for Weghorst. I just would
I
have.
would not. I would not, of course, but
तीन
uh,
3 million 3 million loan fee versus 11 million
I
loan
think
fee.
I think I also understand what Antriksh is trying to say over here. The reason why probably someone would go for Weghorst is because right now we need a target man who is just a poacher, fox in the box. Felix, he's a very talented
see,
player. I think
फीलिक्स
Felix
आने से
will.
क्या होता वो
Yeah.
नहीं नहीं आप बोलो
हाँ, Felix में ये कह रहा था कि Felix is more someone who could actually accommodate the Bruno role, someone who might play as a central attacking midfielder rather than just a centre forward. And since Anthony Martial is already having his back to goal, creating chances, false number 9, etc., I think we need to bring a different element to the game by bringing in Vegas. So if your plan A doesn't work, we can go to plan B. And that is exactly what happened between when Netherlands faced Argentina, because Netherlands, with the diagonal balls, Louis Van Gaal's philosophy, they were trying to do that. It didn't click, and then all of a sudden they bring in this 6'6" inch individual, and all of a sudden the game just changes. So as a
Yeah.
plan B for a 6 month deal, I think it works. If it was a
Again,
long
no
term
also,
signing,
what I
like
was
then I
saying
would.
Wali
is
bhai,
if we had brought in Felix, he would have
Hmm,
provided cover for all the forward areas. Like
hmm,
if Martial gets injured, he can be brought in as a number 9. If Rashford has to be rotated, he can now come in as a number on the left wing, on the right wing as a number 10. He could have given cover for all of the places. And I think Eric Ten Hag has completely different set of game plans for the two strikers he was targeting, that is Cody Gakpo and Felix. Wout Weghorst would be more of a Cody Gakpo kind of signing because he's the tall one, he is the target kind of a thing. But yeah, I'm not that bothered that we are getting Wout Weghorst because I think Eric Ten Hag has a plan up his sleeve.
So who do you think will have a better loan? Okay,
backing my point about Felix,
yeah,
I would have personally, as I said, as ruckusful as that sounds, I would have gone because, and it's completely my point of view that Jao Felix just feels to me one of those spoilt rich brats of football yet again that United have fallen prey to way too often. He is one of the most talented, apparently, for the past 4 years. He went on big money from Benfica. The biggest disciplinarian and the biggest macho sort of manager in football right now, Diego Simeone, doesn't like the quote unquote the work ethic, doesn't like his values that he has instilled in him. And he's again one of those super hype. So I really didn't feel like there is that sort of need for him in our squad. I think we have had a plenty like we have made our own problems. We have just overhyped these players. Like Rashford is delivering. I'm so happy. But we had made him. We literally used to compare him with Mbappe. Martial, Martial, Ballon d'Or clause and whatnot. What haven't we flung around about our players? Wout Weghorst is one of those, like, he has everything that Igalo had, but better. The love, the passion, the goals, hopefully, and then his attitude and probably his quality as well. I sort of checked his Wolfsburg stats. They're actually good.
Yeah.
They are actually, he was in the top 5 Bundesliga scorers, and then 2 years he was in the top 3. And I was
Let's hope he's
like
more of a
he
Cavani
does shit.
signing than a Igalo signing.
Exactly. Like he is more of a Cavani signing with, I think, better calves than Cavani, and hopefully, and I
even
think
if you
he's
look
not
at
made of straw. And
even if
then
you look at the
he has
ceiling,
that Licha factor. He has that
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll kill you.
Dog in him.
You know,
Dog in him.
yeah, he's like that shape shifting character. जो jersey पहना दोगे मैं उसी देश का हूँ. Like he'll be that Casemiro again. You know, he turns on that switch in him and he'll fight for us like personal terms. I mean, कौन है भाई Vegas? He'll say no to us. Personal terms are
And
never an
he
issue.
was really uh, urging that he would join United.
Absolutely. He said goodbye. So you know between the game half time पे उसको उसका manager ने बोला his agent that maybe United is calling. He scored a goal and said bye Besiktas को. I love you. Bye. उसका bye हो गया. Like personal terms were agreed here. They were agreed
Mustafa
here.
says a very good point. We need workhorses, enough of superstars who have done nothing for us
Absolutely.
but only pocketed the millions. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more,
Absolutely.
Mustafa. It's absolutely, we need workhorses. So, personal terms
Absolutely.
agreed.
And even if you look at
Antariksha,
his
I don't.
current season, just final point, Paritha, he has 8
Yeah,
goals and 4 assists from 16 appearances for Besiktas. Yeah, carry on.
yeah, Antariksha, I liked your rant. I like the fact that you are very passionate, but I don't like your dig at Edinson Cavani. Okay, he was fantastic for us. He was
But he played
fantastic for us.
whenever it was his. You had to
Uh,
wait for his mood.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was his
No, no,
thing with
it's
him.
not about the mood. It's
That
it's
was near
about
the
that he
end.
was
That was near
promised
the
something.
end.
Yeah,
It
near
was
the end.
something. It was what he was promised and what he was given. He
Yeah,
signed on the additional year when he was promised he was going to be the striker. He played brilliant in the previous season, and then we signed
and then came
Ronaldo out of
Ronaldo.
nowhere.
Yeah.
And then we signed Ronaldo out of nowhere, and he's pushed back into the lineup. So it's not his fault because he was promised something different, and he still
And
said
he
nothing.
even gave up the
It's
number 7.
Yeah, he gave up the number 7. Who would do that? Nobody would do that, especially a player of his stature. Edinson Cavani is a big, big player. He's a big name in world
Absolutely.
football. He gave up his jersey, he gave up his spot, and he said nothing about United. He had nothing but positive things to say. And even in the last time, I remember when he was going and he was signing an autograph for a fan, and the little kid was saying, "Please don't go, Edinson." He was very sweet about it. Edinson was like, "I have to go," and something like that. So I do believe that we needed more of Anderson Cavani. We didn't get enough of him. The one season we got fully, we saw the goals that he brought in, and we need that kind of player. We need Vagost because we need a tall
Absolutely.
player, a not tall striker, and I think Vagost fits in the system. Obviously, Eric Ten Hag is backing him to be the striker, and I do agree with the points that everybody made. I do believe that we need a different kind of striker, a different kind of output uh, than Anthony Martial is. Uh, Sir is saying, I disagree. Cavani last year was a mess, always injured for us and fit for his national games. That's what I'm saying. He was promised something. The last year, we don't. I'm not saying about the last year because that was something that went against his will
In the
because he was not.
COVID year, he was
promised.
fantastic for us.
Yeah, and that
Absolutely. What a
he
gem.
was
He made us believe so much. Number 7 curse.
the
Wow. Like
goal,
that was beautiful.
the goal
Yeah.
they scored in the
Fulham.
last game.
Fulham.
Uh,
Yeah. The Fulham
yeah.
chip. Yeah. Oh my. That was just so. It was actually
So
beautiful the way it was sort of happening and it showed us promise. But again, as they say, you should, like, as they say in writing, you should stop writing when you're getting the best ideas. Yeah, don't wait for it to come down, just write them and chhod do. So, we probably went in, again, not our fault. We really craved, I
we
mean,
we
number
have
7.
United have a tendency to go back to their toxic exes. So that's what we do. We are like that that lover who is never
Letting go.
learning from his mistakes. Yeah, never letting go, and that's why we are suffering right now.
Right, right. So, sort of rounding this up now, a very, very fun driven, a very emotionally driven, and yes, 20, yeah, it was really good. Absolutely. Like, no one disagrees to that. And as things were said, things were done to him, promised, under-delivered promises from our side. And maybe, it just sort of takes, as they say, man ut jata hai, ek cheez se. That probably happened with him for United in his last year.
यूनाइटेड की
Right.
अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ कर दो.
Sorry, bhai.
यूनाइटेड की बात हो रही है, पर्सनल लाइफ साइड में रखो.
अरे भाई स्लिप इन हो जाता है पहचान लिया गया. नहीं. Yeah, so jokes aside, again, this was fun. I always love X. अरे भैया सब चढ़ गए. This one hit the nerve to everyone. But sort of
Sorry, guys.
just
Sorry,
rounding this up
sorry,
now.
sorry.
rounding rounding this up now. So by prediction ले लेते हैं. prediction is a must. And no wavered 14-0 predictions allowed. Karo. So paisa double hoga. Come on, let's get these right. Wali bhai, go on.
I think I'll go with a 3-0 win for United. We've been scoring three
Right.
goals recently, so let's continue that tradition.
Right. 3-0. There you go. Sandeep bhai.
I'll go with a 5-0.
5-0.
Gold.
Right.
I think Rashford
Great.
will continue his scoring streak at United, the eighth one. And I
Will
guess
Rashford start, Sandeep bhai?
I think he can start. He can start instead of
Ilanga
Martial.
starts. I think Ilanga will start instead of.
Can
Garnacho
nahi,
and
Sandeep
Ilanga.
bhai. Paisa lagao. Will he or will he not?
Now he won't.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Partosh bhai.
I think it's going to be 2-1 United. We are underestimating Charlton too much. They are
Ooh.
in good form. They have, I think, 3 wins and a draw in the past 5 games. They have only lost one. So they are not a team to be underplay. We can't take them lightly. They are a good team. They play good football, and I think United are going to have some trouble because there are going to be changes in the squad. We are not going to have Rafael Varane. We are not going to have
There'll be
Luke Shaw
Maguire in the
midfield.
back line and no Casemiro.
So yeah. So I think there's going to be no Bruno. So I think we are not going to be that creative. We are not going to be that great defensively. But I think we are going to edge this one 2-1 in our favor.
Right. So 2-1 says Paritosh bhai. अगर मेरी भी prediction चाहिए किसी को. So
हाँ
that
बोल दो.
is
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
no, just an attention seeker, guys. 2-0. Ill for me be 2-0 for the same reasons Paritosh bhai said. But I think the defense should at least hold out against Charlton for the exact same reasons as he said. Maybe Eriksen should be rested, although he fills up that attacking midfield role. But I think he could be rested. That would, I don't know, put us up with McFred and someone playing the attacking role. So that is a big if and how things would go from there. So yeah, 2-0 for me. And just a breaking news and एक छोटी सी खबर सबको बतानी थी to everyone who is watching and everyone who is tuned in. A big thank you who have stayed till the end and सबको एकदम a tight hug, a tight warm hug and just sort of putting it out there. So our next Premier League game is the Manchester Derby. 6-3 नहीं होगा इस बार hopefully. तो like सब लोग एकदम excited है. We are in a much better place. We are much more confident. We have Casemiro. He's gonna start. अभी से बता रहा हूँ. He will be there. Manchester Derby है. द्वारका आ जाना चुपचाप सबके सब. There is a big return of the screening. I don't remember the next time we have games at times where screenings can be held. द्वारका Smash Sector 13 6 बजे 14 जनवरी Manchester Derby. आ जाओ, see the game with all of us, enjoy being a United fan in a group, see the buzz you get when we make a pass, let alone score a goal. Make a pass, ping a ball from left to right in Trent style and see us cheering. See us
हारेंगे भी तो साथ
drinking
में
to
ही
that.
हारेंगे.
Exactly. हारेंगे भी तो कंधे मिलेंगे रोने के लिए, बहुत कंधे
गम
मिलेंगे
बढ़ने
रोने
से
के
गम
लिए,
कम होता है.
बहुत एकदम. अब चढ़ गई होगी जिन्हों वो आर्सेनल से जीतेंगे भाई, कोई नहीं, नेक्स्ट गेम हो जाएगा. Anyways, it'll just be better. As an experience, it's a must have. Everyone who's tuned in, thank you so much. इंटरनेट से जुड़ने के लिए अब फिजिकली भी आ जाओ. So see you guys at Smash Sector 13 द्वारका 14th January 6 बजे. We're also open from 5 से आ जाओ. Let's have our own pre-match discussions. Post match चलेंगे 9 बजे तक, 9 साढ़े 9 तक. Hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. Thank you so much Sandeep bhai. Good debut Wali Paritosh bhai. आपका Carabao Cup
Yeah,
आपका भी debut हो
seriously.
गया. Let's see Premier League में start कराते हैं नहीं. Kidding. Thank you so much bhai. It was a pleasure hosting. It was a pleasure hosting Wali bhai and Paritosh bhai. A good insight. Sandeep bhai as usual, the man. And it's me, Antrik, signing off now. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. And subscribe and like the video, subscribe the channel. Be united, stay united. We are united. Glory, Man United. Take care, guys. Good night.
Bye bye.